Good day, everyone. In the middle 1990s, my family and I went to a Central Asian country to help start a Christian school. We stayed for 2 weeks with a local family there, and it was by far the standards of what we have here in America. In fact, we had to use outhouses, and we had another little house out where we would bathe in. We'd take water, fill the pot up with water and heat it, and then pour it over our heads, and then, wash down, and then again to rinse. And then we, in the kitchen, we was very, well, let me just say, lots of flies and not real sanitary, but we survived. And on the way home, we flew back into Moscow and took a train. We're heading back to our home in Lithuania. But I don't know, during the trip home, my son became very sick. He was about 5 years old, 6 years old, maybe. Very sick. His stomach was bloated, very hard. If you touched it, it hurt. And he was complaining and crying, saying, "Mom and Dad, this hurts." Well, we were in the middle of nowhere. We had no idea, in fact, where we were at on this train between Moscow and Lithuania. We also knew no doctors. We were absolutely at the mercy of God. So we began to pray, and we prayed for about 2 hours, and I had my children, it was around bedtime, and I had my two girls to get up and pray with us, and we prayed for approximately 2 hours, and finally he went to sleep. Well, the next morning, when he woke up, he said, "Mama, my stomach doesn't hurt anymore." God had touched his little stomach. Now, I nor my wife knew what his problem was, and even to this day, we don't know what his problem was. But I tell you that night, I really believed and thought my son was going to die. I didn't want him to die. I was wanting to hang on to him, but my mind went back to Abraham, how Abraham was offered his son and said, "Here he is, Lord." And Abraham was going to serve God regardless. And I made a commitment to God that night. I said, "Lord, if you take my son, I'm still going to serve you." But God spared him. And it was a miracle, I know, through the prayers of my family that prayed for him, that brought him through. And I want to say, friends, no, people may not know where you are. You may not know what to do, where to go, how to solve your problem, but we've got a God that knows exactly where you are. He knows what we have need of before we ask, and he will hear you. Taste and see, the Lord is good. Well, God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.